What's up, guys? I'm DJ Cobb97. Welcome to episode 6. This is another one of those episodes where I got carried away building lots of farms. Instead of putting footage of me building them over a beat, I'm just going to go around and show you all the farms I built. That way I don't have to go through all that footage. For the first couple farms, I headed to the Nether. The first one I built was a gold farm. I went with a very simple yet powerful design by ianxofour. Zombified piglins spawn on 2 platforms under the Nether roof. They're lured by a turtle egg into a portal in the center of the room. They emerge on a bridge in the overworld and eventually get pushed through another portal. They re-enter the Nether through a portal above the Nether roof, where I sit ready to kill them with my Looting 3 sword. For how simple this farm is, it produces a ton of gold. The next farm works hand in hand with the gold farm. This is another design by ianxofour, a piglin bartering farm. The farm is very easy to build, and getting the piglins in the farm is made easy with ianxofour's method. The end product is a bartering chamber with 128 piglins. The pumpkins on their head are so they don't despawn. Across from the piglins is a simple shulker box loading mechanism. To barter with the piglins, you just throw all your gold at them. Your inventory will instantly be filled with items. You turn around and rapidly shift-click the items into the shulker box. When the shulker's full, you close it and it will automatically be loaded into a barrel and replaced with an empty shulker to hold more items. Right near the bartering farm, I built a sorting system connected to a shulker unloader for all the bartering drops. I copied it from ianxofour's world download. I put a chunk loader next to it so it can continue sorting even after I leave the area. On to the next farm. This is one I've wanted to build for a while now. A versatile tree farm designed by ianxofour. I know this is starting to sound like an advertisement for Ian's farms. I had to make a few concessions in order to build this one. I used to be kind of against using TNT dupers personally. I've never duped any items in my world. I've always been personally against doing anything like that. I even refuse to use tools like chunk base because I feel for me, it takes away from the exploration aspect of the game. Not everyone feels this way, and I don't judge people who do use these exploits, I just typically have chosen not to use them. But I've made an exception for TNT dupers, because I really wanted to build the tree farm, and I'm sick of chopping down trees manually. You can't put efficiency on an axe, and haste doesn't work on trees either. I think I've mined enough trees to last a lifetime. Plus, someday I want to make a perimeter, and that's only possible with TNT dupers. So I went ahead and built the farm. A redstone clock sends a signal up through scaffolding to a TNT duping module, causing ignited TNT to fall at a specific interval. I, the player, sit at the bottom planting saplings and bone mealing them so they grow instantly. With bone meal in my main hand and saplings in my offhand, all I have to do is hold right click. The TNT explodes the trees and the wood goes into a water stream leading to some collection chests. Nearby, I built this nether vegetation farm. It gets me a lot of crimson and warped fungus so I can also farm nether trees. I followed a tutorial by Xisumavoid. I think I'm saying that right. It's just a platform made of nylium, half crimson, half warped. When I flip the lever, a dispenser underneath bone meals the nylium. Pistons shift the floor back and forth rapidly, causing the vegetation to break. After a couple minutes of running this, I'll easily have a stack of each type of fungus. I built my next farm close by as well. This is a bone meal farm designed by Ilmango. This farm is badass, and it has to be one of the most complex I've ever built. Basically, 4 dispensers underneath the stone bone meal a piece of moss, causing it to spread to the stone. Pistons push the stone, breaking the moss, and the water pushes it all into hoppers, going into composters. This thing produces a lot of bone meal. I hooked it up directly to my tree farm to achieve ultimate laziness. Moving on to the last farm, another design by ianxofour, one I've wanted to build for a long time. A stacking raid farm. This farm would produce a ton of emeralds, which is nice, but I was more interested in the witch drops, specifically redstone. If I could get redstone from the raid farm, that would be one less reason for me to go in dark and dangerous caves. Since I'm playing in hardcore, I figured this would serve to further facilitate my survival. The farm took me a couple hours to build. For how overpowered it was incredibly simple. The farm has 5 farmer-villager stations with composters. Pistons push the composters, causing the village to briefly lose its profession. This causes the raid center to shift to another villager. Long story short, this mechanic allows you to get multiple raids going simultaneously. When I finished the farm, I ran it for just a minute to make sure it worked. I had a major concern about this farm. It was designed to be used with an auto-clicker, hitting an armor stand at a specific interval with a sweeping edge sword, dealing damage and killing all the mobs in the kill chamber. I'm not a fan of using an auto-clicker. I don't judge anyone who does use one, but I prefer not to. I built a redstone clock that lights up a lamp telling me when I should click. The issue with this is the possibility of human error. Despite my good sense of rhythm, I'm not as accurate as an auto-clicker. If I swing late, that might leave enough time for a witch to heal the mobs in the kill chamber, causing them not to die in the first hit. If I hit an evoker and it doesn't die right away, it will spawn vexes. Vexes can make short work of any player, even one with full netherite armor and a totem of undying. Maybe I'd be able to escape with my life in the event of a vex attack, but I didn't want to leave it to chance. I did some Googling and asked around in ianxofour's Discord, which is full of people a lot smarter than me who are willing to help. In my research, I found out about something called a Vex Suppressor. I was sent a link to a tutorial on how to build one specifically for Ian's raid farm. The Vex Suppressor was designed by a player called Nash, and the tutorial was by a player called ZeterTheDuck. The concept is simple. The suppressor consists of 2 small chambers, each containing an evoker surrounded by 16 boats. An iron golem sits on the platform across from the evoker. The evoker tries to attack the golem, but it can't reach it. It spawns vexes, which will get stuck in the boat. This tricks the game into not spawning any more vexes. This will make the farm completely safe from them. Building the chambers is the easy part. The part I was more nervous about was capturing and transporting not 1 but 2 evokers into their respective chambers. The evokers had to be captured from a separate raid at least 6 chunks away from the farm. As daunting as the task seemed, I deemed the effort worth the reward. I built a rail line all the way from my farm to a beach nearby where I had some villagers in a box. I flew to an outpost near my house and killed a raid captain to get the bad omen effect. I then headed back to the beach to trigger the raid. I took out the first few waves of the raid pretty easily. Eventually, I got a wave with an evoker. From a treetop, I picked off all the other mobs with a bow until it was just me and the evoker.
Why is the Johnny doing an evoker thing, bro? Do you see that? That's a pillager, or that's a vindicator.
Driving a boat on land with an evoker in the passenger seat was something I never imagined I would do. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Between having my chest plate on and having a resistance beacon, I was able to take quite a few hits from the evoker's chomp attack as well as vexes before having to exit the boat to run away and heal. Eventually, I managed to get the evoker in a minecart and send it on its way. Back at the farm, he fell right into place in the center of the chamber. Damn, that went so smoothly. It seemed like evokers are even easier to work with than villagers. 1 down, 1 to go. If this first go went so smoothly, what could possibly go wrong the second time around? I placed another minecart on the beach and got ready to start another raid for the second evoker. Again, I picked off the first few waves of the raid. A few waves in, an evoker showed up. Again, I took out all the other mobs and got the evoker in a boat. When I got to the rails, there was no minecart. I swear I put one there. Maybe I accidentally broke it at some point. I didn't think anything of it, and I flew to my iron farm nearby to make another minecart. I got the evoker sent on his way. This is it. The evoker rounded the last corner before the chamber. I was on the home stretch. And then this happened.
Are you f***ing kidding me? Okay, I gotta despawn that creeper. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Are you f***ing serious? He landed on a goddamn creeper. That is the dumbest f***ing shit I have ever seen. Like, sorry for my language, but that... Really? That's the stupidest f***ing thing I've ever heard of. Are you f***ing serious? How the f***? Explain to me, dude. How you can have as bad of luck as I have. Look at this, bro. Wait. Are you f***ing kidding me?
Of all the things that could have gone wrong, I never imagined the evoker would be unable to fall into position due to landing on a creeper's head. What is this, a fever dream? How the hell did that creeper get there? And I can't even despawn it because somehow it's sitting in a minecart. Where did the minecart come from? I swear I didn't put it there. Thanks to the power of replay mod, I was able to get answers to all these questions. On the right, you can see me fighting off illagers during the raid. To the left is a creeper who apparently aspires to travel. After spinning around like a weirdo, he managed to both push and enter the minecart in one fluid motion. And with that, this asshole had himself a one-way ticket to my raid farm. Thank God for replay mod. Without it, I never would have known the story of the creeper consumed by Wanderlust and his legendary train ride. Luckily, I was able to get under the creeper and break the minecart. From there, I was able to just fly away to make it despawn. Now the Vex Suppressor was done. I had pulled it off. My raid farm was now completely safe from Vex attacks and I didn't need to install an auto-clicker. I happened to finish this mission right before day 300. It seemed like a great time to end the episode. What a grind that was. About 6 farms built in 100 days. I'm sure they will all pay off. I don't need to worry where I'm going to get gold anymore. If I ever need blackstone, gravel, quartz, leather, I can get all these items easily from my bartering farm. I'll never need to manually chop down another tree in this world, and if I ever need a ridiculous amount of bone meal, I have the means. Thanks to my raid farm, I'll be able to afford any trade with any villager, no questions asked. More importantly, I have a safe way to get all the redstone I'll ever need. I'm DJ Cobb 97. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.